Hi, it's John from North Star Nursery, Garden and Home, your coastal gardener. Wow, to say that spring is springing out there would be such an understatement. So many things are waking up, and of course, so many things are shipping in. Every single week, there's something new coming on to the availabilities that we order from. So we definitely have a lot of fun stuff right now. One of the collections I wanted to talk to you about today is Pieris, or also known as Lily of the Valley shrub. This is a very large family, and I only have maybe 10, not even 10, maybe 7 varieties up here. I don't have all of them because not all of the ones I ordered shipped, but what I do have is definitely worth coming and taking a look at. If you are looking for a shrub that has spring interest as well as other interest throughout the season, this is the shrub for you. It is evergreen, so it has years. It has leaves year round. It sets its bloom sprays kind of in November, December. And the neat thing about that is that they have a tendency to look like clusters of berries kind of hanging off of the plant, which of course is kind of the heralding of the flowers that will soon be in spring. But it's just really pretty. So you've got that, you've got the flowers, which are stunning. Lots of different kind of whites with red branches. There are some pinks. Unfortunately, that one did not ship in, so I'm going to have to work on getting my organ order in earlier than now. The ones we mostly have the white flowers, but it's interesting if you look on, and you can really only tell when you're at the nursery, but there are stems that have kind of a yellow toned stem with the white flowers, and so the whole flower structure kind of reads in this white range. This one has a reddish stem and a little reddish cap on the flower. So you have a little bit more of a soft pink tone that's happening. So this guy right here, the big one that I was just showing you, this is Dorothy Wickoff. Dorothy Wickoff is going to max out at 4 to 6 feet and 4 to 6 feet wide, given the opportunity. So you don't have to let it get that big if you like this variety and what it does. You can certainly clip it each year or every other year to kind of maintain a size. This guy is Forest Flame, and the reason I brought this in was because I have another Forest Flame over here in a larger, I believe that's what this is. Oh no, I lied. This is Mountain Fire. I always get the two confused. So Forest Flame is another big one. So this one gets 6 to 10 feet tall, and also up to 5 to 6 feet wide. So this would be a really great option for a screen or hedging or a backdrop. Of course, it has the white flowers. After this, we'll have brand new red foliage that has kind of a pinkish tone. I'm not sure if that's capturable, but the coloration on this foliage is really, really nice. All of them do something like that. This is one that I actually have at home, planted in a pot. It is called Flaming Silver. This has a great variegation, and it has the flowers, and it has the new growth. So this guy is going to average 4 to 6 feet tall and wide. So that is Flaming Silver. This one is Katsura. So it is 6 feet by 6 feet. So quite large. It's just finishing blooming, and you can see all these new growth tips are just emerging. This one I'm really excited about, especially for those of you that like or want to do bonsai, this variety is called Bisbee Dwarf. And Bisbee Dwarf is only going to get 2 to 3 feet tall. And it has a really nice small leaf structure. Now, these came in without any buds on them, so I have a sinking suspicion they already bloomed, because they do bloom early. And let's see, chains of white bell-shaped flowers, so another white flowering variety. But if you're looking for like a really nice kind of compact, shrub in your front yard, backyard, wherever, some of these make really great options, because if they're shorties, they're gonna stay short. You don't have to fuss too much with them. That's the other thing that's really great for us here on the coast. Pieris does really, really well. It loves our acidic soil. It adores our foggy mornings and nights. So it's a really good option for our gardens. As you get into the valley areas, you're going to want to give them a little bit more of like morning sun, nothing past 10, and probably some dappled shade through the rest of the day. They're not going to want to be in raging hot sun. Oh, mountain fire. Here we go. That's why I brought this in. This is mountain fire. And I wanted to bring this in because I wanted you to see the blooms on this thing. It's pretty damn incredible. The reason I brought it in was that this is a mature mountain fire that has not bloomed, or has already bloomed, and is just starting to push out its new growth. So these guys are also quite large, 6 to 10 feet tall and 6 to 10 feet wide. In my opinion, I think what would be really cool on some of these larger plants would be to take them and plant them and start to lift the skirts on them to kind of prune up these lower branches and almost create like an olive, multi-trunked olive branch. Can you imagine how gorgeous that would be as a kind of a specimen tree in your garden or your front yard with all those blooms and then the new growth? I think it's really important to kind of look at things a little differently. So like something that's a large scale shrub, not really a tree, can really be grown and utilized in a way that I think we need to kind of step out of the box with. So that is mountain fire. So I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm a little bit of a geek when it comes to variegation. So this is a variegated variety called variegated Japanese Andromeda. So it's variegata is the variety. They do have a common name also called Andromeda. I'm not really quite sure what that's all about, but that's another common name that you hear kind of bantied about. Care of these beautiful things. Really not a lot. You can really kind of ignore them for a lot and they'll pretty much deal with it. But there's a few key things that are actually really helpful for these guys. I think visually, when they're done blooming, and this one is done blooming, I used to really bug my father-in-law about his Pieris in his front yard. And I would say, if you just cut off those ugly dead flower branches from that plant would look a lot better. And so every time I would go over there, I would end up doing it because he refused to listen to me. So just taking those off and just making it so the plant doesn't look, kind of half dead. Cleanup, that's one thing. Let's say we wanted to keep this shrub shorter. If we want to maintain it shorter, it's probably going to grow about 3 or 4 inches each year is what you kind of want to think. When these new sprouts come up, they shoot up quite a bit. So you can see right here, not sure if you can get in there, David. This is a junction where the new growth started. And so from here to here is about 4 inches. So that gives you an idea of what the growth rate is each season. If I wanted to keep this shorter, what I would do is just go to that branch and cut down to an area where there are some green leaves. Then the new growth will emerge from here. So you'll be another 4 or so inches here. So that's what you want to do as far as cleanup pruning, and any maintenance pruning you want to do. They will get thin in the center if you don't tip them back from time to time, because they will spend a lot of their energy just moving on to the next set of leaves and growth. When it comes to fertilizing, our environment here on the coast is a little bit more acidic soil-wise, so they love it here in the ground. And if you were going to plant it here in the ground, you could just go with the pantry basic of the Sure Start, and the soil is naturally acidic, so you wouldn't have to do an acidic fertilizer specifically. If you wanted to go down the geek out range and go with, making sure you're really acidic, you could use the azalea, camellia, and gardenia food, which we use on rhododendrons, Pieris, all kinds of things that are acid loving. So you would use this either at the time of planting or seasonally. What I would do is when it's done blooming and you've cleaned it all up, go ahead and fertilize that. That could fertilize it. They could be going probably until Mother's Day-ish as far as blooms. So you would want to do that, May, June. The other thing I would do is in the fall, October-ish, I would put some more fertilizer on it to kind of get it ready for setting those blooms, which are going to happen in November, December. When you're planting these, they need to be watered for the first 3 years. It will become drought tolerant on its own, but will thrive more and be more kind of full and lush if it does have regular water. First year, 2 to 3 times a week minimum. Second year, you pull back by half. Third year, half again, and then you can leave it on its own if you really wanted to do that. Again, it'll be more lush if it has more fertilizer and more care, more water. If you have an existing Pieris at home and you're wanting to kind of give it a kick in the butt, the Maxi Acid would be your best bet. And what I would do is, if you're rehabbing one, clean it up, get rid of all the broken branches and the ugly, and then start fertilizing with the Maxi Acid. And I would do that once a month, probably until November. And then I would stop. And you'll kind of see what's going to happen. It's going to kind of jump into life, and the flower structure will be much more dramatic for the spring season ahead. I think, marginally deer resistant. So sometimes they eat them, sometimes they don't. If you're planting them new, spray them with liquid fence if you haven't had them in your garden, so that you're teaching them to avoid it. It is gorgeous out there. Please remember to stay hydrated and water your plants. And we will be looking forward to seeing you at the nursery.